Good evening from a rainy nook. So this video introduces what I call Sovereign's Sight, and that is a way of working with the Morrigan and the Ogham in divination. And that's going to be rooted in sovereignty, in land, and necessary truth. It's not a tradition, and it's not a system you must adopt. It's very, very important. It is a stance. It's a way of approaching the work, approaching the divination, when the question you're asking isn't about prediction, but about responsibility. And this kind of work is good for when there's moments that demand a bit of clarity in your life. You're not looking for comfort or reassurance. It's just clarity. It offers a simple and honest method for asking the right question, grounding yourself properly, inviting the Morrigan with respect, and reading the Ogham through the lens of sovereignty and consequence. So what follows isn't a doctrine, it's just a way of standing and listening and acting with integrity. So there are moments in everyone's lives when clarity becomes necessary. Moments when you stop looking away and begin to ask the kind of questions that shape a life. And this is where the Morrigan meets the Ogham. This is the Sovereign's Sight, a working rooted in land, responsibility, and that truth that must be faced. It's not a closed tradition, it's not a rigid system, it's a living practice, something you step into and you can shape and you can return to. The Morrigan is a sovereign goddess whose presence is defined by clarity and consequence. She's not a triple goddess. She's not a collection of aspects. Her many guises, crow, wolf, eel, cow, maiden, and hag, they're all expressions of agency. They are not fragments of an identity. And people often turn to her when they want truth rather than reassurance, alignment rather than protection, responsibility rather than avoidance. She doesn't reveal what's going to happen. She just reveals what must be faced. And in contrast, the Ogham is a relational system rooted in land, in ecology and threshold thinking. It doesn't demand memorization. It just asks for your attention to patterns, to tensions, and the wisdom of the natural world. And Ogham doesn't dictate outcomes. It reveals what is present, what's emerging, or what could be misaligned. So together, the Morrigan and the Ogham create a current of divination that's honest and grounded and alive. And this isn't something that I sought purposefully to bring together. They arrived very separately in their own time, and their relationship revealed itself long before I'd even tried to put words to it. The Morrigan came to me when I was reaching into a space where something was missing. I grew up in life without a mother, and it left a break in the chain, if you like, and a sense of standing in a nowhere place. My lineage was half unanchored, if you like. I could feel it, but I couldn't touch it. Reaching into the absence, I was answered by the Morrigan, quite unmistakably. And she didn't just fill a gap, really. She literally handbrake turned the entire direction of my pagan path. My work with the Ogham began much earlier than this, and again, it was a recognition of a language for the connection that I'd already felt between myself and the land. And again, I just didn't have the words or the understanding to articulate what that was. And over time, they gradually came together. One revealed the shape and responsibility, the other revealed the shape of the moment. So, yeah, arriving together, working together. Now, the Morrigan sight is the kind that arrives when you finally stop looking away. It's not gentle, but at the same time, it's not cruel. It reveals what must be known for sovereignty to be restored. And her sisters, Bav, Raka, and Anu, they're all distinct goddesses. So if you invite the Morrigan, you invite her alone. The Ogham comes in and aligns naturally with this clarity. The Ogham reveals the pattern. The Morrigan reveals the necessity within it. When I do the work, I get myself into the fourfold grove. And this is not a doctrine, this is a stance. And the fourfold grove involves 4 pillars. Birch is the pillar of emergence, that honest beginning. Oak is the pillar of sovereignty, and that's the backbone and the centre of agency. Blackthorn is the pillar of necessary truth, and that's the clarity that cuts through the avoidance. And then finally, yew is the pillar of deep roots, and that's your continuity, your ancestry, and the long view. And this framework steadies me, and it steadies any other practitioner that might choose to work like this, and it offers orientation, not rules. So when we're preparing is about honesty. It's not about ritual purity. A confused question produces a confused reading. A question asked in avoidance produces a reading that circles the avoidance. A question asked in sovereignty produces clarity. So before inviting the Morrigan, ask whether the question is necessary, whether it's specific, whether you are prepared to hear what is required, and whether you are willing to act. If the answer to any of that is not yet, then the working waits. Now, you don't need any fancy long invocations. Short ones are great. So you could go with Morrigan, stand with me, clear my sight, steady my voice, let the stave speak with necessity and truth, and let me meet it with sovereignty. Or alternatively, Morrigan, I open this space, guide my hand, sharpen my knowing. May the Ogham show what must be seen, and may I receive it without fear. No ornamentation, just presence and respect. Something else we need to consider is ritual etiquette. And ritual etiquette with this is not about correctness, it is about relationship. So the Morrigan is approached for matters of consequence, sovereignty, and necessary truth. We're not looking for comfort, we're not looking for predictions, we're not smoothing ego, we are not looking for revenge or escapism. Straighten your spine, let the breath settle, ground yourself, and the land is the witness. Speak plainly. You do not summon her, you invite her. And offerings should be kept simple if you choose to make them. So clean water, a plain piece of bread with a bit of butter on it, silence, or just a commitment to act. Receive the reading without embellishment. Close the space with gratitude and grounding. Now, these kinds of workings do not require encyclopedic knowledge of the Ogham. The relationship is not academic, it is very much relational. Ogham reveals patterns, the Morrigan reveals the necessity. Your task is not to decode symbols, your task is just to listen. The method is quite simple. Clarify the question, ground yourself in the fourfold grove, invite the Morrigan, draw or cast the Oghams, interpret through sovereignty, consequence, and necessary truth, record the reading, act on it, and then close the space. Simple, relatable, sovereign. Some deities complement this work when the Morrigan isn't perhaps the right fit. So if you're looking for clarity and healing, you may wish to invoke Bridget. If you're looking for precision and strategy, you may wish to invoke Lu. If you're working through liminal spaces, you may wish to invoke Mananan. And the Dagda can bring balance and nourishment if that's what you're looking for. And it's not a lesson in Pantheon, it's just orientation. So a working is something you return to in different seasons of your life. And the Morrigan doesn't ask for constant attention, but she does ask for responsibility. And her clarity is sharp, and sharpness used too often can become noise. Not every discomfort is a threshold. Not every uncertainty is a summons. Let your work breathe. Let yourself breathe with it. The practice then grows because you grow. It sharpens because you sharpen. It returns because you return. And the Morrigan doesn't bring cruelty. She brings what must be known. This working is an invitation to stand in right relationship with her, with the land beneath your feet, and the truth that emerges from the grave. So that is the principle of the sovereign sight, which is, like I said, a way of using the Ogham in divination and invoking the Morrigan to strengthen the work. I hope you found that interesting, and I will be posting more content very soon. Other than that, good evening to you, and I will see you next time. Good night.